Hi there, it's Tom Morgan here again with your weekly update with what's been happening in the Skype for Business development world. Lots happening this week. The biggest thing I think is probably the launch of Microsoft Teams. That's now generally available. It is out of public preview. It's been quite a quick march really from public preview to being generally available, and to be fair, it was really quite fully featured when it was in public preview. So it's not like there's a ton of massive new announcements that came with it going to GA. It's more around really hammering home those kind of marketing messages about how it's secure, how it's full collaboration, how it's very customizable, especially kind of in our world, the development world. There's those customizations, the way you can build in connectors, the way you can build in tabs, and big names like Trello and SAP and people like that, and also the whole bot framework side of things as well. Obviously, there's a few. There's the MSDN blog article about it, following that was released following the big global webcast that was done about it. One of the nice things about Teams going GA is that it goes GA in lots of places very quickly. So as it goes GA, it becomes available to lots of people, across the world. It's not segmented. It's available in lots of different languages, and it's available in lots of different places. I think we're probably going to keep seeing things being added to Teams over time. I don't think we've reached peak team, but I think this is if you've been sitting on the fence about whether to try it or not, this is definitely a good place to start. There's another blog post that went onto the Dev Center about the same kind of time, talking really about the improvements and the things you can do as a developer. Some of those notable changes are that if you have bots that talk with teams and go into team conversations to interact with users, those bots can now @mention users. So in Teams you can @mention someone with the @ and their name, and it affects how that user receives a notification about that mention. Bots can now do the same thing, so you can kind of call out important messages. There's some other changes as well. There's some new changes to some more information, some conversational metadata you can get about the conversation, events when things are happening. So for instance, when a team member gets added or a channel is created, those are new types of messages that you can look for and you can react to. And there's other things as well. There's a new side loading process. There's some new pinning you can do. You can pin tabs to bot conversations and stuff. So that's all written up in the dev blog post. So that's definitely worth a read as well. And then I thought I'd just highlight that there's a really good Q&A blog post actually on Microsoft Teams. Not really just for development, but if you're getting lots of questions about Teams, or you have lots of questions about Teams, there's a really good kind of top 10 FAQ questions done by Chris Williams over at linkinsider.com. They're kind of the really good questions that are sometimes hard to find the answers to. So how is Teams organised? Is there a mobile app? What are the advantages, if there are any advantages, over something like Slack? Is it free? How much does it cost? That kind of thing. What is the cheapest option? What's the cheapest of the competitors? And all that kind of stuff. So yeah, definitely that's definitely worth a read. It's it's really good. It calls that and talks about T-Bot as well. So T-Bot is the bot that you get for free with Microsoft Teams, and it's supposed to be kind of a helper bot to answer kind of simple questions and stuff like that. So there's a bit on that as well. So yeah, Teams is the big thing that's happening this week, the big announcement. So that's definitely all been happening. What else has been going on? So I put out a video on Channel 9 about artificial intelligence, specifically artificial intelligence for bot developers, realized using LUIS, the Language Understanding Intelligence Service. So that's over on Channel 9. It's also on my blog as well. I want to say it's 35-40 minutes long, and it really is. It's not supposed to be a deep dive into LUIS, but it sort of just covers the things you need to know if you want to embed that kind of artificial intelligence functionality into a project. So for instance, if you're writing a bot project, it doesn't have to be a bot project, it can be some other entirely different scenario. Anything where you have a user asking a question, you want to translate that into some kind of action, then LUIS is great for doing that. So that's worth a look if you're into that kind of stuff, or if that solves a problem that you might have. The other thing that caught my eye was the Tim Berners-Lee letter. So the web is 28, which is kind of really interesting because the web is 28 this year and I am 35 this year. So for me, it's a really interesting perspective because I've grown up with the web in a very real way. I know of Tim Berners-Lee, as in I think we have friends of friends of friends, maybe. So I'm that's kind of interesting for me from that perspective. And to be honest, anything he says is interesting. So he's written an open letter highlighting the problems he sees with the web today, and he's written a really good book as well, actually, about the making of the World Wide Web and some of the history. But the concluding chapter is really interesting because in the concluding chapter he talks about where he thinks the web is going to go. And bear in mind that book is probably 20-something years old. Really interesting, and actually where the web has gone is nowhere like where he thought it was going to go. And that's probably because he was mostly optimistic, and actually where the web has gone is probably slightly anti that. So that explains in a way his letter that's come now to say, these are the things I think is wrong with the web. And they're roughly split into three areas. There's loss of control of personal data, misinformation and the kind of fake news, if you like. And the issue we have with advertising and political advertising particularly. So yeah, it's definitely worth a read. It's an interesting letter, made even more interesting by the achievements of the author. And the other article I thought was interesting was one done by the outline.com. So I'll put the link in the notes, but it's the premise of the article is that we are sitting on the edge of a massive revolution and change in our jobs market, which will be realised by the changes in AI and in automation, which I don't doubt at all. I mean, I said recently in a talk that AI will have such a massive effect, and those companies that get it together and those companies that fully embrace AI and build AI into their processes with customers and enable customers to take advantage of AI will have almost an unfair advantage over the competition. So it will be that much of a disruptive change. But the premise of the article is that AI and automation are going to have a decimating effect on blue-collar jobs in the US. It calls out the US because I think it's a US written article. I don't think this is a US specific problem. I think it's probably going to be a problem that as a generation we need to deal with in the next 20 or so years. I think we will see a big upset and a big change, similar, I suppose, to the Industrial Revolution, in the way that many jobs will change, and a lot of jobs that we do today we won't need to do, I think, in 10-15 years time. And there are some obvious ones like driving, but also probably unobvious ones as well, middle management, all those kind of things. HR, financing, I think will be massively disrupted as well. So that's a kind of interesting sideways tangent. But I thought it was interesting because right now it feels like we're at the cutting edge of bot development and artificial intelligence and working out where bots fit and where they can be useful and valuable and where they can add value. And it's always interesting to take a step back and think about the larger picture and how that has an effect on society. And it's very easy to think that it's somebody else's problem, especially as a developer. It's like, well, I just develop the bots. It's not my, it's not my fault. It's not my problem. What happens with them? I think you can take that approach. I think if you take that approach, no, I don't think anyone else is going to particularly step up and say, I will take responsibility for this. I think it's probably something as a society we need to work through. So I think it's on all of us to understand this stuff, and it's even more important on those of us who understand the technology and understand the implementation of it, to help educate those who understand it less. So that's my piece for this week. That's all I wanted to say. So have a great weekend and speak to you next week.